What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Austin Show. Today we're looking at the Walgreens exclusive Marvel Legends figures of their supervillain wave that they're having exclusively at Walgreens. And here we have the first two figures from the wave. So we have Baron Zemo and Jigsaw. So of course, with this being supervillains, it's going to go with our supervillains wave we did a while ago. And it's going to be all supervillains. So we'll probably get like 4 throughout the year. And we have the first 2 so far. So Baron Zemo looks awesome, more in that like classic comic look. And then Jigsaw, which kind of looks how I've always pictured Jigsaw to look. So both of these figures look really cool. We can spin to the side and see the artworks there on the sides of the box, as well as the figures there on the back with the artwork and then their little stories and everything. So we have 2 villains here, of course, Baron Zemo for like Captain America and then Jigsaw for Punisher. So that's cool to get the villains for pretty major characters. So I'm excited to check them out. So let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. Well, let's start off with Baron Zemo, which looks really cool here in his classic comic look. So his real name is Helmut Zemo, and he's the 13th Baron of his family of German nobility, and he was disfigured by adhesive X just like his father, so he was forced to wear the same face mask. And he was a Nazi scientist that became a leading member of Hydra and serves as a top enemy of Captain America, but is known for his genius intellect, expert swordsmanship, and slow aging due to a Compound X serum. So he looks pretty cool overall, and of course we saw Baron Zemo in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. He first appeared in Civil War, but in Falcon and the Winter Soldier he put on the mask very similar to this with like the line designs on it, but he has like the crown piece on here with the gold as well, with the nice purple like face covering, like sock design or whatever, with the lines all through with that darker purple. Looks really cool, but you can still see his eyes in there. And then he's got an all purple suit, so just like a classic comic sort of purple suit, but I like how here he has like the cheetah print or whatever on his shoulder, so he has these pieces around the shoulders with the spotted design, so that's cool. Some gloves that have the same line design but in a yellow color, similar to the boots, again with more cheetah design there. And then he has this like belt around his waist that looks almost like a wrestling title, but has a little handle piece up on top here, which is weird, but overall looks pretty cool. This is just an awesome figure to get for the classic looking version of Baron Zemo. And just so you can see what the last figure Baron Zemo we got was, here is that older figure, which looks very similar, so it doesn't look too far off, but unfortunately this figure is like so weak with our avalanche, she just keeps falling back and forth. So definitely a much needed figure for us to get an upgrade, and I like with all the less shininess and stuff of the body. So this Baron Zemo is definitely the best version of Baron Zemo we got so far. And while we're at it, let's go and just bring, like I said, his nemesis of Captain America. So here's that 20th anniversary Marvel Legends Captain America, because I feel they'd fit pretty well together, so we can have a face off there between the two. So I just wanted to bring in a Captain America so you'd see the height comparisons and just to have our hero and villains here together. But let's go and do his movements. So a head can twist all the way around. He can look down that far and up that far. So not the best movements ever, but they're not horrible. And then we get the shoulders that can come up to 90. And this piece is attached in here, but it does rotate around with it. So it then can rotate all the way around there. Then we get a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend up that far. So pretty much all the way up on itself. So really good for that. And then the wrist can twist around, and this one has a rock up and down. And then we get the ab crunch. So right where like this handle piece is, there's the crunch. So you can crunch forward and crunch back there. So just your standard crunching, twist all the way around at the waist as well, and the belt kind of gets in the way of some of that. But then the hips can come up to over 90 there, which is good, out to the side that far. Thigh twist all the way around, a double knee joint that bends that far to the back, not bad, and then a shin twist at the top of the boot with a foot that's a little bit stiff but can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So overall, not a bad figure either. No real major issues with joints or anything, so that's really good, and he doesn't flop back and forth like that older one. But for accessories, we have a hand with a trigger finger, but he doesn't come with any guns. I know like the last one came with a gun, and it had like the cheetah print on the gun as well, so that'd probably be a good one to put with this figure. But we do get some additional hands with some grips on it, so just some standard grip hands, so we have that. And then he comes with a sword as well, so very similar to the last one. Just a little bit more details in it, and it looks really nice, but overall similar design. So let's get his hand switched out and put this sword in it. So there we got Baron Zemo with the sword, and that overall looks really cool. So this is such an awesome figure. I love it so much to have a Baron Zemo that actually looks like the classic version that I know of and has a really nice body design compared to that older one. So very awesome overall here for the Baron Zemo figure. And then we've got Jigsaw, real name Billy Russo, and he was a favorite hitman of the Costa mob, which is the mob that carried out the execution-style killings of Frank Castle's family. And so the mob hired Russo to assassinate Frank Castle, but Castle avoided the explosion, and later on as he returned as the Punisher. And Punisher tracked Russo down to a nightclub and threw him through a window, but Russo survived, but his face was all cut and torn up, so surgeons stitched his body back together, and so that's why we see his face here, and he looks looks like a Jigsaw, because they said it was like putting a Jigsaw back together with all the cuts and designs of his face. So we have his face design here, so it looks really creepy with the messed up face design. You can see this eye's much wider open and looks angry and stuff, has of course the mouth all messed up. Reminds me a lot of like Two-Face just with the face design, but he has all the stitches and scars and everything that look pretty creepy, even going through his hair, so you can see the line there, and even like in the back of his head you can see some stitches and stuff. So very creepy just overall, but otherwise it's just a guy in an all white suit with a black shirt and tie, and even some like black accessories like the buttons and stuff there, and the black shoes. So it just looks like your pretty standard guy, just the face that adds the look into it there. And then he also has this metal collar around his neck, which I assume is to help with some of his body, but I also read that he does wear a titanium exoskeleton, so it's probably running through his body as well, but we just see the piece there around his neck, which is pretty cool. So not like the most creative or coolest villain ever, because he doesn't really look much, you know, just like a human with stitches on his face, but he is pretty creepy and fits well with a Punisher. And speaking of, we have Punisher here, so I found like the most classic looking Punisher I could. So once again, we have our heroes and villains here together. But let's go and do his movements. So his head can twist all the way around, and he can look down that far and up that far. So with the thing around his neck, it gets in the way a little bit, and if you don't have him in the right position, it kind of gets twisted out of the way, but fits in there pretty well. I like how it even goes up with like the head design and everything, so they did that pretty well. But decent movements in the neck for what you get. The shoulders can come up to 90 there, which is good, and rotate all the way around. Bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend that far, so pretty good there. Wrist can twist around and flex up and down for this hand. And then I'm sure he has an ab crunch in there, but with the jacket on, it's hard to get any movements, but he can twist around at the waist. Hips can come up to 90 out to the side that far. Thigh twist all the way around. A double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, so not bad. And then the foot can flex back and forth, twist a little side to side, and then it does have the ankle joint there as well that can twist all the way around. So it's a pretty decent figure. It just doesn't have all the best movements ever because of the body design, but still not bad at all. And he comes with a number of accessories, so he's a killer and everything, so he's going to come with a lot of stuff. So first off, we get a set of knives. So we have a pair of knives here, which look pretty cool, just your standard Marvel Legends knives, but really nice design once again with the black handles and the shiny blades, so that is pretty cool. We have those we can put in his hand, as well as a baseball bat. So baseball we've got before, especially like the hammerhead more recently, so baseball bat with all silver and then the black all wrapped around the handle, and so nice baseball bat, as well as a machete. So we have this big machete, so again with the nice silver blade and black handle. I even like the silver there for like the nails holding it together, and so pretty nice. So a nice big machete to pop into his hand. And finally we get a sawed-off shotgun. So it's cool we get a gun with a figure and stuff, so we have a sawed-off shotgun here, double barrel there, so pretty awesome. We can put that into his hand, and it also comes with some effects. So we have the bullet effects that we can stick into the end of the gun, which I tried to put both in and they wouldn't fit very well together, so unfortunately I couldn't get them both in. And then we also have some of the smoke that can come out of them, which I think is pretty cool for this. So let's go and pop the smoke in the end. So there with the smoke, it can look like he just fired that. So let's go and put this into his hand. So there I got Jigsaw with the shotgun in his hand with the smoke coming out. So like I said, so it's like he just fired it off, and then I just put the machete in his other hand. So that looks pretty cool overall for Jigsaw. Like I said, not the best thing ever. I definitely like the Baron Zemo better just because of all the colors and everything, but this is pretty cool just to get a nice awesome villain to go along with one of a big character in Marvel and stuff of the Punisher. So this is overall pretty cool figure. Well, that is going to be it for our Walgreens exclusive Marvel Legends villains figures of Baron Zemo and Jigsaw. So both of these figures were really cool. I definitely love this Baron Zemo, and I think it's the best Baron Zemo so far. And we personally don't have Jigsaw, so I definitely like that. I wish it could be a little bit better with the body design. It's hard to get him like posed, but overall it's still pretty cool and fits the bill. So it does what it's supposed to, and that's all I care about. So both of these figures are really cool, and I highly recommend them. But let me know what you thought of them down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. But thank you all for watching. I hope you stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.